Hello guys, today we're gonna look at a low elo tier list. So if you're wondering what the fuck is this is for low elo. This is I would say up till plat. You can pretty much take this as a pretty standard, pretty good tier list. And then after that I would say you need to start playing these harder characters. So let's go over all of them. Now, Ghost, low skill cap, like low skill floor, but very high skill ceiling. He's one of the best pro picks as well. However, obviously for new players, you just hold down your left click and you basically just gun people down. You might hit Q or maybe not, or you might hit like RMB and you'll do a lot of damage, and that will be fine. Eva, yeah, as long as you're dragging one orb, like if you learn that this character can put mana into an orb and drag this orb to enemies by holding it. This character in any low elo is broken. You can just push any team. They most likely won't know how to properly anti-heal you. Shit, they don't even properly know even in higher elos. But like, you will not get punished. It will be very easy to just climb. You one of the easiest characters again on the skill floor. Again, every character here does have very high skill ceiling, besides a few of them. Felix is your starter damage dealer, frontline kind of thing. He can engage, he can dash. Enemies that don't know how to run away from you are simply gonna get caught, and you can simply just hold your left click. You will kill them. Kingpin. He's just so beefy. You don't get punished as much. If you literally just hit a hook once or twice during a game, you're probably gonna get a kill. And all your abilities are kind of short range. You have a lot of dashes to get out. But again, this is one of the highest skill ceiling characters. Like he has a hook, he has multiple dashes, he has a very secure dunk, he does have the anti-heal. However, in your low elo lobbies, this guy is just gonna be a meat shield that auto attacks. And it works perfectly fine. Shrike. I'm pretty sure everybody calls this character broken if you're just starting out the game, because the character has 2-tap potential. Which means if you're not careful, at any elo, the character will 2-tap you. However, eventually that attack speed reload, that attack hit reload gets very easy to dodge, and you can most of the time just push the Shrek down and just run it down. Quite literally. But for your low elos, this is gonna be your go-to. You literally don't have to do anything besides hit 2 auto attacks back to back on an enemy champion. Now Carbine, it's not as straightforward as Ghost, but he's basically kind of like Ghost. You can for the most part hold down your left click and kill someone. Hudson, I mean, do I even need to say anything? You literally just hold down your left click. You might throw your traps here and there. You literally don't have to do much. His ult is a bit harder to hit, but in lower lobbies, it's not gonna matter. You're just gonna be there minigunning someone. Mercury. This champion is so bad once you go high up. But in lower elos, the ult might feel very, very hard to play into because you can't position properly. And all the healing, again, the anti-heal. Every healer is just way better lower elo because nobody will anti-heal you. Nobody, it just doesn't happen. Krista, relatively easy. You just have to hit her Q really to do anything in lower elos. You don't have to worry about all that min-maxing with attacks in between stuff. Celeste, again, you can kind of just spam abilities, hit your autos, you'll get a kill. A very low skill floor. As you see, all of these are very low skill floor, which means you can pick them up and you'll do okay. Like, I'd say Mercury's actually a bit harder even because of the mortar and some. I don't actually think. You know what? But she's still a healer. Like she still has a role. I cannot justify putting her lower. Only Joel gets that. Bishop again. Like in the ceiling, she's relatively easy. She can get a lot of stuff done. Zeph is technically mobility and tempo support, which is high elo skewed. But again, we're just talking about the heal and his Q, which are relatively easy to hit on experienced allies. Alone, now even though Alone could be up here, I do think that she's a bit hard to play with that suppress. And her, you could also, I know this is funny, but I've seen Aloons miss their heal. Yeah, the double cast on it. I've seen it happen. So just because I've seen that happen, I will not put it up. I mean, on low elo, no one will know that you can carry wisps. Once they figure that out, they will. That's when you will have a little bit of problems. But till then, you can just run in, pick up a wisp, res it. Will be just fine. Jewel. Now the only reason I put Jewel here, because she isn't that hard. Again, her ceiling, very high, but her floor is not that hard. You hit 4 shots, you dash twice. You can actually miss that dash. You can miss her Q. You can miss her LMB as well. You and RMB as well. You can miss everything in this champion. Besides the ultimate, which should be relatively easy to hit. You can miss everything else if you don't charge your RMB correctly. You're gonna miss it. Your Q is actually quite easy to miss. The one thing you can do with this champ is just basically run up, auto attack 4 times, and yeah, you just dash and you pray that you hit it. Tetra, I'm gonna move Tetra here. Tetra is quite hard to grasp for new players, but you can still get the limbs if you don't know stuff. You can just put your walls and like you'll hit something. This is one of the first characters that I got that like on a ledge you can spike people so easily that you know you'll get some free elims. But obviously one of the highest skill ceiling characters on the game. And not too hard. This is important. Even for high elo players, the character is not that hard. It's not a brawl. You can play Tetra quite easy. Uh, Compared to the brawl, of course. Very hard champ. Oh, yeah, he's just a tank. He heals, he stuns. One of the best tanks even higher up when you go. However, he isn't as straightforward, and new players can be completely useless on him if they pick him up. Bebo, you can miss a lot of skill shots. His bomb is super hard to hit for new players. Uh, you're gonna be stuck on hitting your RMB and draining your mana, and but maybe you'll get an elim with your Batoon. Void. Now this character should technically be better here. But you know what's the problem? This character is just hard. This character is just one of the hardest even in high elo. Like whoever pulls this character off is just a one trick. He has no regular dash. He has a TP. That TP can displace characters and objects where you throw the TP at. you can fuck your team over more than you can help them. And even, yes, sure, you can get close and do your damage. It does not justify that this character is just not straightforward at all, is very, very reliant on good mobility. In fact, I would even put him here, but I might give him benefit of the doubt that, hey, people are not gonna dodge you, so you might get an ultimate in, and that's gonna be a free kill literally 100% of the time in lower elos. Saros, kinda like Shrike. He does have mana management, so I'll put him down there. He, the problem is if you miss his shots, and he's not like Shrike, if you are gonna miss your shots, he's gonna run out of mana and be useless. In fact, yeah, Saros deserves to be here. Now, Brawl, one of the hardest characters in the game. Uh, you pick him up when you actually want to get good at the game. Chev, best character currently, probably gonna get nerfed, let's be real. The gap between her and other characters is a bit steep, which means, like, sure, a good Brawl can play into a good Chev, but a good Chev just dominates the lobby. And like, she doesn't have to go into a Brawl every single game or every single team. She's gonna run people down. Wukong, one of the hardest characters to pick, that to play. Has a lot of min-maxing to do, lots of tempo, lots of stuff like that. Is not an easy character to play at all. Jhin, this honestly should probably be even harder than these two, just because this guy is so much more harder to execute than even these characters. Pulling off a Jhin means you are undoubtedly cracked at the game. Like, you're up, and you know what the fuck you're doing. And same with Myth. Myth has so much depth to her abilities that you cannot simply just like, oh, I charge my left click and hit it. Like, sure, that could kinda work, but honestly, you won't even know. You won't even know what your range is and stuff on lower elos. She is not standard at all. She cannot spam her auto attack, or else it has no range. While I feel like Saros can kinda spam his, you can still hold down his auto attack worst case scenario. But still, with Saros, you'd probably be just like a ghost or a carbine, but much worse. Because your kit is not meant for that. And like, come on, he has portals, no one's gonna use them. So like, yeah, I think this is a very good low elo list. In fact, I'll put Jen right here just so you know that you should not touch this character if you're low, or if you're not planning like on an insane time investment. One of the hardest characters to pull off. With Brawl. Brawl should honestly be here too. You can get punished so easily. Both are melee characters, they need to do a lot of stuff to get shit done. That's how it works. Wukong slides away with it a little bit. You can kinda get on top of people with him. With them, it's a bit harder. Like with Jhin, you'll go in, you'll die. While with Brawl, you can completely miss your Q or your combo, or you can go in at the wrong time. But that's the lower Elo tier list. Kingpin could be lower, but I think this is fine. It's low elo. It doesn't really matter. Everything can work. But if you genuinely want to maximize climbing, just stay on the S tier. You'll have a way easier time. Uh, anyways, we're gonna look at the high elo tier list another time. Have a good one.